Okay, go.
We're here, always the clap track. We're here at another spot interview for NeverEndingPanel.com with author Chris Marie, oh shoot, forgot your last name.
Green.
Green. I think it would be
How
easy.
could you forget green?
You know, panicked. I panicked.
Alright, so just start over again?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, welcome to another episode of NeverEndingPanel.com, and we're here with author Chris Marie Green.
Who has the Vampire Babylon series with Ace. So we want to find out from Chris what the series is all about.
Assuming, Chris, that I know nothing about your work, how would you describe it to me, a total novice?
I would say it's about a fledgling vampire hunter at first who gets a call from Los Angeles and says her estranged father is missing, so she goes there. She's an ex-stunt woman and tries to find him and finds out he's a part of a vampire underground, sort of. And it goes from there, it goes from LA to London, and it's told in trilogies. So the sixth book is coming out March 2nd.
So how do you go from...
Wait, what's the name of the sixth book?
What's the name of the sixth book? That's coming out in...
March.
And called?
Deep in the Woods.
Deep in the Woods. Okay, you were going to ask a question.
How do you go from, like, I mean, was there a resume you send in? Do you get recruited? Is there, like, a government website that you go to? From stunt woman to vampire hunter?
Wow.
That sounds
Funny
like
you should ask,
That
Eitan.
sounds just like a... How did you develop that? That sounds like a neat plot point.
Oh, well, thanks. From my experience, she was, a stunt person, and she went off and did her own thing, and her skills translate very well into the vampire hunter, and she does nothing official about it. She's just kind of recruited by this paranormal firm because her father was a part of this firm, and she finds out she didn't know as much about her father as she once thought she did, and so it's a discovery of where the vampires are, what they are, and what her father might be or what he has become.
So what is the Deep in the Woods? What is that like? What, without giving away what happens, but what is that about? What is that a continuation of?
Well, it's the last book in the second trilogy, and it closes everything up. There's sort of a fairy tale theme going on. The fourth book was called A Drop of Red, and the fifth book was The Path of Razors. And so with Deep in the Woods, we've got this like Red Riding Hood kind of theme going on, and Deep in the Woods is kind of like a psychological thing also, because she's not literally in the woods lost, but in these woods sort of lost, and in here for sure, because some very dark things are happening to her. She got a soul stain after something really bad happened in a previous book.
Which you'll have to buy to find out. Your website talks about an international incident. Do tell.
It's not that much of an incident.
So does it involve like another continent?
Well, it does. I went to Japan on a trip once, and it was about a 3-week trip, and I was on a bullet train, and unfortunately I was carrying a rucksack that was probably bigger than I am, and I was trying to put it in an above compartment, and I dropped it on the Japanese gentleman below me, and I thought something really bad was going to happen because of that, because you never know when you're going to break a rule in Japan. But it was okay. That was my international incident.
No cops were called in, no police, no... You
just
dropped a
That's the weird
rucksack
thing.
on a small Japanese man.
We don't know in Japan. You could like walk into a club where like people are being almost disemboweled, everyone's just like having tea, but you can step on somebody's small toe and all of a sudden, you're running for the American embassy.
That's a good point. I've actually heard that in Japan, if you don't look at the card of the person, like if a person gives you a card and you just sort of put it in your pocket, that's a tremendous insult. You're actually supposed to look at it and notice it, and then put it into your pocket. So that's a good point. It may have been an international incident.
Yeah.
Eitan, Chris shares with you.
You tried to go back to Japan one day and you're not let in.
We have on camera you.
You are the rucksack
attacking
lady.
the embassy. No, all right.
No Japan for you.
You and Chris share the high school sort of, or eighth grade is middle school.
Yeah.
So you share that.
Secondary.
Yes, secondary school experience background.
My condolences.
How has that helped or informed your writing in any way?
Oh, well, I got so much energy, I don't know about you, from all the students, and got a feel for how they talked and everything, and I think that makes my books sound maybe a little more youthful than I am, in a way, and it just gave me a lot of energy to do things, and they actually encouraged me a lot because they're still at that stage of their life where they're dreaming big, and so I kind of took some of that from them too, and because when you grow into an adult, you kind of forget that sometimes.
With my students, I put my rejection notices on the wall so they could see them.
Oh no.
And they would see, and some of them were nasty.
You're brave.
Oh no, I want them to see them. Because somebody says it's not good enough or you don't like it,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. then put another one. And then when I got the acceptance notice from Tor, I was like, then I put the acceptance notice there. Because I wanted them to see,
Oh, yeah.
just because somebody says, doesn't mean you give up. You
Right.
keep on going.
That's excellent. Yeah, I quit teaching actually because I started selling enough books in order to write full time. So we all kind of celebrated that, and they were very happy for me, and it was wonderful. It was a great experience.
Well, Chris Murray Green, thank you so much for being on NeverEndingPanel.com. It was a
Thank you
pleasure
so
meeting
much. You too.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
Meeting
Nice
you.
meeting
We should work together.
We should.
We should make this a thing.
Why don't you ask her why she got interested in writing about vampires?
Well, everyone's interested in writing about vampires.
To
No.
make money. No, okay. Richard
wanna write
brings up
about
a good
vampires.
point. Richard, the silent secret cameraman, asks a good question.
Yeah. Well, actually, believe it or not, you don't know by looking at me, but I've always been like a horror fan. I was raised on Elvira and Movie Macabre.
I love Elvira.
Yeah, and In Search of a long time ago, and I remember like a pivotal moment in my life when I was watching In Search of, and it was about Nosferatu, and I remember watching his shadow, you know, that scene where his shadow is creeping up the stairs and his claws are like this, and they kind of creep over the woman in the bed, and that just marked me for life. I couldn't sleep without the bed covers around my neck, and it just made me a dark kind of child. I wrote a short story about a country fair where they did really bad things to cows, and I was in 4th grade.
You're right.
So you mean Texas?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, that about, we'll end on the bad things done to cows.
You still
in
want to sell
Texas.
books in Texas?
I didn't say it.
Well, I guess that's a wrap then. We could do our regular wrap up. We've already done our regular wrap.
That's true.
Already did your regular wrap-up.
We can up with a new rap.
Is there a new wrap up? What? Ah, I don't like that wrap up.